So we're back. Now, before I start, I want to say I am on my crappier camera. Usually I'm not on this channel because I like to do a little better quality, not necessarily, but better quality shots on the other channel, or on this channel. But I didn't feel like setting it up today. Sorry, I just didn't. So this is what you're stuck with. You're stuck with this version of me. Okay? Be happy. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about the new show that just came out on Netflix called That 90's Show, which is a direct sequel, I guess, because it's not technically a spin-off, because it's all this. It's the same characters in the same like story, but it's a sequel to it's a predecessor. Is predecessor after? Whatever. It's the show after the sequel. Let's just say the sequel. It's the sequel to That 70's Show, which obviously was a very successful sitcom. I think it was between the 96 or I don't remember the years, but it was like 90 something to 2000 something. So it ran for a while. I think it ran for 8 seasons or something like that, and they're all quality. I think the last the ones where spoiler alert, Eric Foreman, who's the main damn character of the show, he leaves the show because Topher Grace I think he wanted to do something else, either do a different show, or was just done playing this character, and he left the show after I think it was season 6 or 7, one of the seasons he left, and after that the show got kind of like I mean, it's still an okay show, but it was like an But the show, That 90's Show, is a direct sequel to that show because it has a lot of the same characters that show up in the show, as well as new characters. So this one follows a new friend group, who is led by Eric Foreman and Donna. Eric and Donna's daughter, whose name is Leia, which is very funny because one of the running bits of That 70's Show was that Eric was a Star Wars nerd. So his daughter being named Layla is pretty funny. But this is going to be like a little bit of a spoiler alert I'm only going to talk about the first episode. I watched a lot today because I really enjoyed it, actually. Surprisingly enough, I really enjoyed the show. But the first episode starts with Eric and Donna and their daughter Leia coming to visit Eric's parents, Red and Kitty, and their old house with the old set. Everything is like pretty much the same. It's a little updated to be like 90s-esque, but it's pretty much the same exact set that they used in the actual show, That 70's Show. So it's really cool, but they come there to see them. They're all hanging out, whatever. And then Leia goes and she meets, what is the girl's name? Gwen. Gwen is like the neighbor girl that's actually living in Donna's old house. So she meets Gwen, and they sort of kick it off. And apparently Leia is a nerd, I guess that's what they're kind of. She's a nerd, so she doesn't have a lot of friends back home, and this is the summer. She's on summer break, so she basically asks, I want to stay in Point Place for the summer, because she meets all these people. She meets this friend group. So there's Gwen, Leia, Jay Kelso, who's obviously Michael Kelso's son, a kid named Ozzy, Nikki, and Nate. Those are like the 6 friends that are in this little group, and they sort of meet them, and it's just cool. It's like a little vibe, you get the main kid, the kids, but then you also get some like the nostalgia stuff, right? So towards the end of the episode, they figure out that this kid Jay, Red, figures out that his last name's Kelso, and then pops in Ashton Kutcher, reprising his role as Kelso. And then Jackie comes in, Mila Kunis. Jackie comes in, and she's also, and they're still like a super toxic couple, and it's just this whole like funny little thing. But I don't think the show has cool nostalgia sake. It's cool like guest cameos on there, like some of the old characters coming back and making an appearance is fun. We've seen a lot of people come back. I'm not going to spoil all of them because I think it's fun to, it showed a lot in the trailer and shit too, if you've watched the trailer for the show, but I think it's also cool to see them when they pop in, some of the characters. It's just cool to see and whatever, but I'm just talking about the first episode, and so then they find out like Eric at first is not going to let his daughter stay in Point Place because his daughter got a nose ring, being in Point Place for like 3 days, got a nose ring. They got a keg, and she bought a tap. Like, they were drinking. They were like, she got a nose ring, and he's kind of like, nope, you're not staying. But the thing is that Eric and his daughter were super close, and now she's a teenager and kind of wants to like break away from her parents. You know, the typical like teenage thing, right? You're close with your parents when you're younger, and then when you get into those teenage years, you're kind of like, I don't want to be around my parents. Like, you love your parents, right? But there's always that teenage like, nah, get them away from me. So she was at that age, and she kind of wanted to. She's like, I want to just be in Point Place for the summer, whatever. At first, he wasn't gonna let her, and then he eventually comes around at the end of the episode and lets her stay in Point Place. Now, the rest of the season is probably just shenanigans that happen throughout the summer. I don't know. I've watched a couple episodes, and so far it's just little funny little bits that they have. You know, Red and Kitty are obviously main characters on the show, so they're very funny. They've always been like super funny characters, and they're obviously the grandparents to Leia Foreman. But like everyone else is like just random kids that they just met, but they have like little shenanigans with them, and it's just a fun series so far. I think I watched 5 episodes. I was gonna watch like 1 or 2, and then I just got hooked and I kept watching, honestly. So I've watched like 5 episodes so far. There's only 10, which kind of sucks. Like, I wish there was a few more, but there's 10 so far. Maybe we'll get a second. I mean, if it does well, we'll get a second season. But I would say if you liked that 70s show, don't expect it to be that 70s show, right? I hate when people go in when it's like a sequel to a show or it's a spin-off of a show. They're expecting the exact same show. It's like, if you wanted to watch the exact same fucking show, go watch the show, right? Like, go back and watch. If you want to watch that 70s show, go fucking watch that 70s show. This is not it, right? It's a newer version. It's in the 90s, so they have different little things that they do. You know, they have a lot of the same sets and a lot of this same stuff that they're bringing back. But however, it's not the same show. It's different kids. They have different things, and I think it's just a fun little setup that they have going on. So, you know, obviously you're going to compare it to that 70s show because of it being part of that universe, but it is its own show. And for what it is right now, I really am enjoying it. I think there's always going to be those weirdos that are like, well, it's not better. Of course it's not better. I think the same thing happened with like Full House and Fuller House. Is like, you know, people went in wanting the show to be Full House, and it's just not, because it's the sequel to it. It's a different show with different characters. Some of the same characters, but they're also older. So like, it's the same with this one. Like, Eric and Donna are together. They have a kid. They're older, but they are like, I've noticed they're not in every episode, right? They pop in occasionally. They pop back out. So far, I've only seen Eric 1 time. So he popped in for 1 episode and then he dipped out and he's gone. Is he going to come back at some point? Maybe. I don't know. The same with like Kelso. Like, he popped in, seen him for a little bit. He popped out. I didn't see him again. So it's like, it's not relying so heavily on these cameos in order to make a good show, right? Because again, if you wanted to watch Eric Foreman, Michael Kelso, Donna, if you wanted to watch all of these people, just go watch the main fucking show. Okay? Like, if you want to see those people, go watch the show. And then this is something else. And you don't have to like this if you don't want. But so far, I really enjoy it. I think they're corny jokes. It's this typical sitcom format with the laugh track, with the, you know, the ooh, ooh, you know, like the little background vocals, the cheering when you see someone that you know on screen. You know, it's like the typical, like, that kind of sitcom-esque thing, which I usually don't really like. But some shows it works on, like that 70s show it worked on. This show, so far, it works on. But it's a sitcom. You know, they tell stupid-ass jokes. They have the little crowd laughing in the background. But overall, it's fun. I'm having fun. I've actually, I laughed out loud at a couple scenes. Like, there's a couple scenes I found very funny so far. And I'm only halfway done with the show. But there are scenes that I actually find funny. I'm not just trying to be like, I'm not trying to force myself to like it because I like that 70s show. I would never do that. Like, I liked Full House. I did not like Fuller House. I don't like a show just because it's the same, just because it's all the actors coming back. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to like the show. But so far, I am actually enjoying this show. So we'll see what happens from here. Like I said, I want to finish out the series, and I'll probably finish it out within the next couple days because like I said, I only have 5 more episodes left, and they're only like 30-minute episodes, so you can power through this whole series in 1 or 2 days. But I really hope at this point, I'm really hoping they get a second season. 5 episodes in, usually I like to give a show like 2 to 3 episodes to hook me, and they did. They did that. They hooked me. So now I want to see what they can do from here. Can they keep it going? And if they do a second season, is it going to be a year from now, right? If you're going to do 10 episodes a year, it's kind of hard to get into a sitcom with 10 episodes a year. Like most sitcoms, especially sitcoms on like TV, are usually like 20 episode seasons. So I don't know, can a sitcom survive only being 10 episodes? I don't know. I do not know, but I mean, I've seen a lot of different articles already on the show, and some good, some bad. Like let's read some of these headlines. So this first headline that I see, that 90s show is worse than that 70s show in every way. Again, comparing the two is just weird. That 90s show is way better than it has any right to be. So that there's a good headline. But I don't really see a lot of headlines. But anyway, I just think like I said, it's a fun show. Don't sit down and critique every little thing like, well, in that 70s show they did. Don't do that because you're not gonna actually enjoy the show. I think if you sit back and just have fun, it's a sitcom at the end of the day, right? It's not supposed to be deep. The jokes aren't supposed to make you like, and they're not supposed to make you fucking laugh hysterically. It's supposed to be like a sitcom that you chuckle at, and it's just a fun show. Like I said, there was times where I literally laughed out loud. I thought there were some funny parts in it, and I hope they get a second season. I really do. I think like I said, the characters are cool. I like, Eric's daughter, I think is a really cool, like Leia Foreman, I think is an interesting character so far. We're getting a little bit of character development already in some of the few episodes that I've watched. So I like it, man. I like it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you like the show? Do you hate the show? If you hate it, please let me know why. Like, I truthfully want to know. I want to know I want to know people's reason why they don't like the show. Because if it's just gonna be comparing it to that 70s show, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I want to hear like actual critiques of the show. So if you want to, if you have any critiques of the show, I would like to hear them personally. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make the show, I didn't write the show. I'm not gonna take it to heart. But I definitely love to hear people's opinion on it. Like, what things do you not like about the show, or what things do you like about the show? The OGs are cool coming back. That's fun. But like, is there anything else that maybe, you like about the show? I don't know. Let me know it on the comments below. All right. Thank y'all. Love y'all. And until next time, it's your boy, King Boys Productions. Squaw.